is Mark Legere. Welcome back. How are you, doctor? It's great to have you here.
Good to have me.
You're a chiropractor,
yes,
and you deal with all over body pain. But what do the majority of people who come to see you complain about most often?
Most often it's low back pain.
Okay.
And it all starts there, and it a lot of times has a trickle down or sometimes trickle up effect.
Okay.
That ultimately low back issues can cause mid back issues, shoulder and neck issues. It's like the foundation of the body.
Now, by the way, a pillow is not going to change how you sit. It just doesn't.
Nope.
I've got a hard wooden bench here. We're going to show you something called Backjoy. I'm the first host that was able to introduce this to America. Firm believer in the product. It forces you to sit upright, and it lifts in such a way where that little tiny bone, your butt bone, if I know the technical term, the coccyx, it creates so much pressure when we sit. Mom always said sit up straight. This is actually an orthotic for your back.
Well, that's exactly right, Dan. And you can see in the animation here, when we don't sit on a properly positioned surface, our low back rounds out. Now, not to get too technical, but we want to have a little bit of an arch in the low back because that sets the tone for the rest of the spine. With the Backjoy device, what it does is it gives you that little bit of a boost in the back to help your body.
Lifts the pelvis up a little bit, right?
That's exactly it, and it helps the body's pelvis and low back be in its proper position to unload the spine, starting at the low back, trickling up to the mid back, up into the neck.
And most people spend almost as much time, if not more, in a seated position than we do actually laying down and sleeping.
Well, think about how often you're seated, right? So you wake up in the morning, breakfast time. Then you get in the car. Then you go to work. And then you're back home, and then you're back on the lazy boy, or you're on the recliners, and then you're having dinner again, and then you're laying down again. The body uses the pelvis a lot.
This is not a cushion. This is firm. But what the folks at Backjoy have done is they've lined it with this wonderful memory foam. All you do is sit in it, and you do sit in it, not on it. So
here, I'll sit for you.
Great.
So you know what I want to point out is when you sit on a flat surface
Mark and I are
like
going to get to know each other really well. Now look at this.
When you sit in a flat surface, the low back flattens out. So you can just feel how it feels flat here.
And look how his rear end is pressed hard against the ground.
So
now when he sits in this, look at how that has lifted him up. Pardon me, Mark. But now I can see the difference in your shoulders.
Well, yeah.
Your shoulders are now back. Your back now has that natural curvature, and you're not hitting this little guy.
Well, let's take a look. So here we saw the animation, Dan, but we can take, so these are your hips, and this is what it is when you're seated. If you don't sit properly, you sit on a really flat surface,
you roll
naturally,
back.
the spine is going to tend to go back, and that flattens you out. But with the Backjoy device, it sits there, it holds you up. And it's like the foundation of your house. If the foundation isn't in the proper position, you get cracks all the way up.
It doesn't matter whether it's this chair. It could be my favorite chair, which is my Lazy Boy recliner. It could be your automotive chair. We all spend time sitting. Now, here's the best thing I can tell you. QVC offers a 30-day money-back guarantee on everything that we sell. Everything. Try it. Because I'm from Indiana. I don't believe anybody. Okay? For somebody who's had chronic back pain for 35 years. I met the inventor. I've known Mark for a while. He's a chiropractor that specializes in all over body pain relief. When I first saw this, I went, wait a minute. It's not a cushion. How is this going to work? They did what I'm telling you. Try it. They said just try it.
Right.
And it makes a difference. Put it in your chair, sit in it, and I think people will be amazed at the results.
I heard a statistic yesterday. I was reading it. It says that every day we sit about 9 hours a day. We sit almost longer than we sleep now. And the saying is in the medical community that sitting is the new smoking. When smoking first came out, you didn't know how bad it was for you, and now it's it's terrible. Sitting is really, really bad. Now it's like, well, wait, sitting is as bad as. I didn't know that, and well, what can I do? So what can you do is you can have something that's a firm surface on the backside that you're knocking there, the firm surface, but comfort on the other end that again sets the tone of the body with the low back. Again, it's all about putting your body in its proper position. And the other thing that I tell my patients often is that your seated areas, are built for stability.
Right.
Or look, not proper position for the body.
And again, when he's sitting in this, again, pardon me, if you look, I can take my hand, I'm literally coming up underneath his tuchus, his rear end. His lower back is in the right alignment. If you look at his shoulders are actually back. You know how Mom would say, sit up? Without this, you tend to roll over. And that's what hurts. And look how you just flattened out. It's a massive difference in your rear end and your lower back. And this thing can make a substantial difference.
I personally feel when I'm in this that I can almost lean back a little bit. I feel my center of gravity come back because this little boost that I'm getting underneath. This little boost is going to prop me up and again put my low back in its proper position. So I'd ask you, anybody at home, just feel the low back when you're seated in a flat surface. If you're at the kitchen table right now, just
I can
feel your
physically
low
see
back,
it, Mark.
and you can see it flatten out. So Jared, there's an example again right on the screen that shows when you're just in a regular chair, a flat surface, or even like a recliner, it flattens out the low back, and that actually is going to load the discs in your back, which are little cushions between the vertebrae. It's going to load those, but it's going to load your mid-back. It's going to load your shoulders, your neck. So think about it. If you might have neck pain, the problem might not be the neck. The problem might be the back. And until you fix that, it's going to be a struggle.
I'm a firm enough believer that if you check my office chair right now, you would find a Backjoy on it. If you walked out to our parking lot, to my vehicle, you would find a Backjoy in that vehicle. Listen, I've been through way too much discomfort with my lower back. When I fly, I take it with me.
Oh yeah, this is so portable.
It is the best thing I've tried. And all of these things that we sit on are just not designed for the lower back.
No, they're built for look. Oh, your couch looks great, and you sit in the thing, and then how often are you getting up off of the off of the table?
Can we do this again? Poor Mark. Have a seat again. When he sits in this, it is actually a medical device, a patented medical device. It is an orthotic for your back. We know orthotics for shoes. Again, his rear end is now lifted up. His lower back is much straighter. His shoulders and his posture are aligned. When he sits down, everything flattens out, and that tiny little bone, that coccyx bone, that's a lot of pressure. Huge difference. And it's something that you can, for a lot of you, can give you the relief you're looking for almost immediately. You're coming back with a different way to attack that problem of pain. It is really